plump guanaco meat left the puma cubs completely immersed. Little did they know that at this time, their mother had already made a difficult choice. Without any goodbye, she directly turned and left. And this farewell might be forever. A few months ago, a big battle with Brinca caused Rupestre to completely lose the territory by the lakeside. She could only be forced to leave with her 4 cubs. However, covered in wounds, she had no time to recuperate and had to immediately invest in the next hunt. The cubs were only 10 months old and couldn't survive independently from their mother yet. They had to rely on Rupestre to provide them with food. If she could successfully capture this guanaco, Rupestre's family wouldn't have to worry about food for the next few days. However, this hunt didn't go smoothly. A week later, this puma mother still hadn't captured any prey. Rupestre realized she had to think of another way, so she focused her sights on the easier-to-capture guanaco cubs. This time, she gave up her usual stealthy approach and directly sprinted at full force. The guanaco cub was soon caught up. Even though it tried its best to break free from Rupestre, everything was futile. Although Rupestre successfully captured prey, it was too far from the cubs. If she went back to bring the children over, the risk was too great. The prey could very likely be stolen by other pumas. Rupestre didn't want to take this risk. Finally, she chose to drag the prey back to the cubs' hiding place. Her son Neneo saw his mother return from hunting and was the first to rush over. This once most timid puma cub was now becoming increasingly assertive. To become a ruler dominating a territory, he had to learn how to establish his dominant position. Neneo's appetite became bigger and bigger. One guanaco cub wasn't enough for him alone. So even though Rupestre was exhausted, she still had to continue hunting. To ensure all the cubs could eat their fill, Rupestre sometimes even had to hunt 3 times a day. As the cubs grew bigger, Rupestre increasingly felt overwhelmed, but before the cubs could be self-sufficient, she would still risk her life to ensure the cubs' growth. By winter, the cubs' size was comparable to their mother Rupestre's. Neneo had grown into a young adult. He could no longer rely on his mother for food. His sisters had also learned everything they needed to raise offspring from their mother. Rupestre looked at her children's agile figures. She felt relieved and proud, but at the same time, she made a very difficult decision. To let her children truly live independently, she decided to leave. Rupestre took one last look at her children wolfing down food, then resolutely got up and disappeared silently into the vast white snow. This farewell might mean never seeing each other again in this life. The mother's departure was like a silent command. The 4 cubs also welcomed their own life's crossroads. For the male Neneo, the path to independence was more difficult. He had to let go of his familiar home, compete for territory with his kind in unfamiliar mountains and forests, find a favorite mate, and start his own dynasty. Ice and snow melted, everything revived. Rupestre had quietly returned to the lakeside. Unexpectedly, 4 fluffy cubs nestled beside her again. The cycle of life seemed never to stop, and those hardships she had experienced before seemed to be waiting for her ahead again.